Welcome to the G3 podcast. We're going to be talking about everything geeky and nerdy in between comic books, toys, video games, movies, you name it, we got it.
You're tuned in to the loudest, craziest, and most excited bunch of geeks and nerds on this side of the planet. You're about to dive into everything nerdy and geeky in between. This is the G3 podcast. Gamers, geeks, and good times.
Hey, what's up mga mananap, ladies and gentlemen? It's another episode of the G3 podcast. It's Friday and dito na naman kami. 5 lang kami, kulang kami ng isa. Rene, get well soon. Ano nga yung terms ano nga yung term ng
pakabuhay ka.
Hindi, ano yung sheesh term ng get well soon? Frogs, Rene. Frogs. Song.
Frogs.
What
the hell?
Bakit?
Bakit frogs?
Ano sa Tagalog ang frog?
Palaka.
Anong plural ng palaka sa Tagalog? Palakas.
Palakas ka, Rene. Frog. Frog ka, Rene.
Yeah, welcome to the G3 podcast. I'm your host, General Tuna, and with me, we got Trickster, Captain Mike, Palitz, and of course, Notch. Pero bago nagpe-flex si Trickster ng Switch niya nung nilalaro mo, Tricks. Yan.
Advance Wars.
Yun! Ilang hours ka na dyan? Ilang hours na yung mo dyan? Na-invest?
I don't know. It's been
4,000.
so much.
4,000 hours. And bago natin simulan itong episode na to, tanongin natin yung isa't isa. Describe your week or your day in one word. Simulan natin sa'yo, Palitz.
As always, busy. Wala akong ibang Wala akong ibang description eh. Parang mahirap eh.
Mahirap i-describe. Ikaw, Notch. Baka busy.
Hiring.
Busy din. Hiring.
Tiring naman.
Tiring. Kala ko hiring kayo eh.
Hiring ba kayo dyan?
Alis ka na ba?
Ayan. Ikaw, Mike.
Yun. Like everyone, busy rin, pero sa akin it's like more like hectic kasi I'm obviously trying to catch up with everything. Pero yeah, yun lang.
Ikaw, Trickster. Aside from playing video games, like all in all, you know.
Aside from being a hermit inside your home.
Mixed actually, because I've had highs and lows this week recently. So, and you know, my headache keeps coming back for some reason. So I could only play in bits, so I couldn't do much.
So how short are those bits? Like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, or
No.
So whenever I try to be conscious, you know.
Okay. So alam kasi yung bits ni Trickster, like, you know, yung bits
5
mo
hours.
4 hours, 5 hours. And then
when the battery runs out.
So like 6 hours, like that's a Switch battery life is 6 hours. So
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
tapos magcha-charge ka lang pag full charge na, laro tayo, like let's go.
No, whichever goes out first, me or the game.
Alright. And so yeah, syempre marami na rin tayong viewers dito na nanonood. I'm seeing a lot of familiar names. Kaya simulan na natin to. Mike, it's time for your 1 minute pabati portion. Let's
Pabati.
go.
At iyon na nga, start tayo ng timer here. Siyempre, sabi ni Jen, hello G3. Sabi ni Stanley, get well soon, Rene. Sabi ni Will Parocha, happy Friday G3, happy podcast. Sabi ni Maylene, get well soon, Rene. Sabi rin ni Lala Leska. Sabi ni Lala, corny mo jazz. Sabi ni Len, get well soon, Rene. Sabi ni JMLO, sabi ni Harem, nagda-drive traffic, magandang diskusyon na naman ko. Sabi ni Stanley, hello everyone. Sabi ni Harem, sakto. Tapos, sabi ni Stanley, Friday is Friday. Hello sa mga viewers. Don't forget to like and follow our page, our podcast, Gaming News, Geek and Nerdy Stuff, all our social media accounts. And yun na nga. At dahil dyan, tapos na kagad tayo. Ganun siya kabilis. May oras pa tayo dito. And welcome everyone sa G3 Podcast.
May nag-meet sa akin, grabe.
Mike?
Ano?
yung munggo ni Noche, ito sinasabi ko sa iyo guys kahapon, wala sa timing, nagluto ng munggo si Lala. Kahapon ng gabi, dinner namin munggo. Nagising ako kaninang umaga with the worst foot pain ever. As in, first time ko nagising ng umaga na masakit ang paa. Kasi usually pag kumakain ako ng munggo or bawal, hours after, sa sasakit, di ba? Yun, kaninang umaga talaga hirap akong bumangon kasi sobrang sakit ng paa ko. Like, damn. Tapos napamunggo pa si Notch. So, masyado, the struggle kanina umaga para kay General. And alright, so syempre after ng 1 minute pabati portion ni Captain Mike, just drop in your comments below guys, at babatiin kayo ni Mike ulit mamaya. So meron tayong part 2 ng pabati portion. Let's proceed to our Sega exclusive news for the week. Bastos na ito ni
May
Mike.
transition na naman tayo. May transition na naman tayo ngayon. Takalimutan ko na naman mga kaibigan. Hello! It's Sega News for the week at meron lang tayong dalawang balita galing sa ating kaibigan ng Sega. Our first news is, of course, it is the Golden Week. Golden Week po ngayon sa Japan. And of course, Sega has something for everyone of all. Everyone of all. Sega is pleased to announce the Sega Golden Week sale on the PlayStation Store, Nintendo eShop, and Steam is officially open. Players can enjoy the latest games or classic favorites and get as much as 80% off dun sa mga games na yun. The sale also features the latest Sonic the Hedgehog game, which is Sonic Frontiers, which ni-review natin yan, and Persona 5 Royal, which comes with over 40 DLCs and remaster of Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 Golden. So marami Persona 4 dyan. Like a Dragon Edition is also on sale for the first time ever at 25% off. Definitely sobrang daming steals for Sega's newest titles. The sale ends on May 10, 2023 for the PlayStation Store and Nintendo eShop. Matagal-tagal pa. And on May 11, yes, May 11 for Steam. Yan. And ngayon, punta lang kayo sa Steam or if you have may PlayStation kayo, Nintendo Switch, punta lang kayo dun sa mga eShop and PlayStation Store para makuha nyo yung mga games na gusto nyo. Sega and Atlus lang yan. Of course, take a sneak peek at the Samba de Amigo Party Central track list. Sega has announced some amazing hit tracks in Samba de Amigo Party Central. Yan, using your Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons as maracas. Line up the maracas with dots on the screen at the right angle. Wait for the right moment and shake them. Follow on-screen instructions to dance or strike a pose and groove to the beat of the hittest and newest songs. Enjoy playing this rhythm game with music from famous artists like Ariana Grande, Miley Cyrus, Carly Rae Jepsen, the Jonas Brothers, and many, many more. The track lineup at release will feature mega hits like Bang Bang and the previously announced songs from the Sonic series. Examples of course, dun sa mga tracks, Break Free featuring Zed by Ariana Grande. Yun yung I Want to Break Free. I Really Like You by Carly Rae Jepsen. TikTok by Kesha. And of course, Plastic Hearts by Miley Cyrus and Jolina Magdangal.
You got Ricky Martin there, boys.
And that's it for our second news. Kunin nyo na itong Samba de Amigo, guys. Masayang laro ito.
Gusto ko malaman yung stepping ng I Want to Break Free, no? Ano kaya
I
yung
want
stepping?
to break free.
I want to break free.
I want to break free.
Ano ba?
Sure, it's the right song we're thinking.
Ay, di ba? Mali pala yun, no? Mali. It is Break Free featuring Zed by Ariana Grande.
I knew it.
Di pala, I want to break free. Iba pala yun.
Pero ewan ko lang kasi sa TikTok lahat ng kanta binibigyan na nila ng stepping baka malay mo may dance race ng I Want to Break Free.
I want to break free. And that is our Sega news for the week. Ewan ko lang kung may transition tayo, pero kung meron, transition. Sega.
Local transition. Magic.
Local transition. Boom.
Screen wipe. Screen wipe.
Yung Windows Movie Maker transition.
Ganun.
Hindi, PowerPoint.
Pero syempre, we're speaking of Sega games here, right? So may nakita tayo, sinabi ni Jay na 25% off, pero magugulat kayo. Meron kaming alam na 100% off. Sasabihin namin mamaya. Abang-abang kayo guys, mamaya.
Yes,
100% off.
Yes.
No, hindi tayo mapablacklist kayo sa ganyan, ha? Kasi 100% off yan.
No. Gusto yun ang
Hindi.
na game na 100%
Legit
off.
to, legit to, mga kaibigan.
Manood ng stream. Ayan.
At mamaya.
Malalaman niyo mamaya yan. Alright.
I want to break free!
Speaking of break free mga kaibigan, syempre magbe-break free din kami ngayong weekend ng G3 and we are going to actually full pack kami ngayong weekend. We're going to 2 events this weekend on 2 different locations. So simulan natin to bukas April 29, 2023. Pupunta kami sa Ayala Mall's 30th for the Ozin Fest Summer, and specifically for the World Cosplay Summit Philippines, which will be hosted by yours truly. Guys, I am back in the game. I am back. I'm slowly creeping in ulit. I'm going out of retirement for this.
Yeah, let's go!
Let's go!
Ket baruket!
Ida, may gout pa yan. Ida, ginagout pa yan.
Palong po yan sa stage. Maganang gano'n. Mga kaibigan.
Magang-maga pa yung paan yan.
Magang-maga pa yun. Paika-ika pa ako sa stage niyan. Pero yeah, it will be hosted by yours truly. So kung may time kayo, Ozin Fest events are free for everyone to go. So walang ticket. Punta lang kayo doon. If you wanna meet us, G3 Gang, pwede rin. Baka may pakuluri kaming gagawin. So let's go. Ayan. So that's gonna be tomorrow, April 29, 2023. Nandun kami sa Ozin Fest Summer.
Para may commercial.
And syempre, on Sunday, April 30, 2023, pupunta naman kami sa the other side of the metro. We will be attending a Tekken tournament at Ayala Mall Circuit. It will be Resback Tekken 7 tournament and 15,000 pesos prize pool plus worth 50,000 pesos of Razer products. So nandun kami. Punta na kayo, Playbook Circuit Makati. If naglalaro ka ng Tekken, kung pro ka sa Tekken at kung feeling mo pro ka sa Tekken, sumali ka, malay mo naman, di ba? Ayan. So yeah, and maybe get a chance to be interviewed by us as well. Marami akong kilalang sinuwerte sa mga ganitong klaseng tournament na nagbo-button mash lang. So, baka malay nyo kayo din. Diba? Baka malay nyo, kayo na ang next. You're the next big thing. Oo, di ba?
It's either ikaw yung mananalo or i-resbackan ka namin.
So yeah, punta kayo doon, meet us, meet all kung sino man yung nandun sa event. And again, may kumalabit sa inyo, gusto mo maging pro sa Tekken, tara, sali ka. Diba, I mean, I really love these kinds of tournaments kasi nga, diba, these are the types na nag-cater sa mga grassroots people, no pressure, diba, na type of tournament na hindi naman kailangan ganun kakagaling or
Just
gusto mo lang talaga, anyone can join. Anyone can, get their ass beat in Tekken. I don't know.
Feel free to drown in pools. No shame in that. You participate.
Ayan, diba? Ayan. Ano ba nilalaro mo, Chino? Tekken X Naruto crossover. Ayan. Si Tekken at si Naruto.
Hindi, ano yan? Mugen.
Mugen.
Yeah. Kiss.
Mugen yan.
Kiss me, nag-kiss. So, alright, we are done with our announcements for this week. Be sure to check out lahat na events na pupuntahan namin. Check out the sale ng Sega. And of course, check out Samba de Amigo Party Central. It's gonna be a blast. But to proceed with our topic, we are actually going to talk about remakes. I know some of you feel, heavy yung feelings nyo about sa mga remakes. There might be remakes that hindi nyo inasahan, remakes na ina-enjoy nyo, di ba, na hindi nyo ina-expect. But the success of a remake depends on the variety of factors. It isn't just the brand alone, but the modernization of the entire presentation and its dedication to the source. So sobrang daming remakes na yung nakita natin from movies, TVs, comics, games, even toys. And kumbaga minsan anong tawag dito, I forgot the term, but nagkakaroon ulit tayo ng interest with those things kapag lumalabas yung nostalgia, di ba? Recently, we've had Resident Evil 4 remake, nakaka-release lang. Everyone enjoyed it. Kayo ba guys, nalaro niyo na ba yun? Resident Evil 4 remake.
I actually got gifted to it, but I haven't gotten the chance to properly play it yet.
Sana all. Alam namin gifted ka. Pero ano ba yan? Gina-gift ka pa rin. Yeah, been gifted.
Lucky. I'll get to it one day.
You'll get to it one day. Pero marami nga nagsasabi na remake, diba? People are keep posting the stories sa remake, ano ba yung nangyari doon sa events sa remake. And then marami pa rin noon nakikita. Spoiler!
Spoiler ka! Ni-remake na nga yan, hoy!
Sino nga yung Latino guy? Who's the Latino guy? Luis, diba? I think that was namatay si Luis, and then spoiler ka, nilalaro ko pa lang yung game ngayon, and then
but
people
the thing is,
it's common knowledge.
The real spoiler is how he died, kasi they changed it up in the remake.
Yeah.
From what I hear, they changed it up.
So parang
he didn't get much of a presence in the original. Which
parang Final Fantasy 7 remake lang pala yun. Para alam mo na mangyayari, alam ko na to, mamamatay naman siya.
Pero may iniba sila ng konti, di ba? Yan. Para
ito, nakita mo si Zack doon. Ano yun?
May spoiler territory pa rin, di ba?
The weird thing about Crisis Core is, can we really count that as a remake? Kasi it's basically an upscale.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really just the PSP version, but with better graphics.
Is it a remaster though?
Even the cutscenes are lang.
So it's basically just a graphical overhaul.
Yeah.
Hindi ko pa kasi nalaro baka meron kayo dyan.
Medieval. If you remember the remake. We called it the remake, but it's actually just a remaster with improved graphics. Yeah, and it still has the suckiest controls.
Medyo fine line kasi yung remaster and remake. Kasi diba, considered kasi na remake pag pinalitan mo na ng balat ang lahat.
Diba? Final Fantasy 7 remake, yung 7 talaga, diba? From turn-based into the full action.
Actually, maganda example yan. Diba, may FF7 remake tayo, diba? So it was totally remade. Iba yung gameplay, environment, mechanics, and even the story binago nila. Then come Final Fantasy VIII Remake na pinagawa po lang nila si Squall, hindi na polygon face yung mukha. Di ba? So, you know,
what a description.
Remaster FF8, di ba?
Yeah,
Remaster is the FF8. Remake is Final Fantasy VII. So I guess that's the best example for a remaster and remake difference. I think.
Ano din? Resident Evil 2, right? The Resident Evil 2.
Oh, yeah.
The remake ng Resident Evil 2. From tank controls, like the giant tank controls, to like the smooth as over the shoulder third person shooter. Diba? So solid.
Feeling ko the best Feeling ko the best when you say remaster or remake. Feeling ko the best way to describe it is some movies. Sobrang daming movies that they made. If you watch Longest Yard ni Adam Sandler, meron kasing The Longest Yard, the original. I watched that.
May original.
May original.
I only watched like the Adam Sandler one. Yeah.
Maganda kasing Adam Sandler one. Diba? So, pinanood ko yung isa. And medyo iba yung storya. Medyo iniba nila yung storya. I guess modernize. It's really modernization of everything that you have in the past. Parang ganun.
Turn into an Adam Sandler film with the great Kali in there.
Oh, the great Kali. Nakakatawa talaga. Ayun nga, sa screen natin.
Ba't itim?
Ang itim.
Anong meron?
Wala kasing loop to eh. So, sensya na ha.
The magnificent set.
Working on it.
One thing I want to know is, does Strangers of Paradise count as a remake? Because it is this, it's the same Warriors of Light from but the thing is, it involves the Dissidia storyline.
It's not a reboot. Hindi siya reboot to.
Hindi siya reboot. Yeah.
It's not a reboot.
It's
so
weird.
I think yes. I think it's similar to what they did with Final Fantasy VII Remake. They totally changed the whole thing. Stranger Paradise, alam na, well, spoiler alert sa mga hindi naglalaro, hindi naglaro nun, diba? Or, walang awareness sa Final Fantasy universe, pero alam naman natin kung ano yung Strangers in Paradise. Kung sino siya. Diba? And,
kasi parang ang dali din kasing i-categorize ng remakes with video games because the technology behind video games and movies are so different. With movies, there's not much change. Only the CGIs were changed in the movies industry, in the film industry. But with video games, everything was changed from the consoles, the engines that they use. So it's really hard to determine if a game is a remake or a remaster or I mean, it's easy. It's harder, but it's easier on movies to determine if it's and
TV shows actually.
Yeah,
kung alam niyo yung MacGyver TV show, diba? Then came the remake na modernized.
MacGyver, the new MacGyver guy. I didn't find it that great. I watched the original TV series, but the new one, it wasn't that okay.
I agree. I like the original ones better.
Yeah.
It just clicks more.
Magnificent Seven is great.
Oh yeah, definitely. The new Magnificent Seven with the new characters and everything. I loved it. It was a classic.
Original, maganda rin yung bago.
Yes, it was a classic cowboy film.
Yep.
Does DMC... Ito, may tanong tayo dito. Does DMC count as a remake or I think it's a reboot. Like, that is definitely a reboot.
Definitely.
Yeah. Definite reboot because they kind of changed the storyline and everything.
DMC is fun. I can accept that.
Parang may galit ka.
Parang hindi mo tanggap na
gigigil ka eh.
Parang there's something telling you that it's hard to hate. Ganun.
Because Capcom wanted Dante to be wanted a more Western look for Dante, so they decided, hey, let's remake our IP into one of these. So, hence DMC was born. If you've seen the concept art, you would be glad that Dante's look is what he looks right now.
You know.
There was some weird choice there, like making.
I actually like I actually liked it, DMC. I actually liked it. Although, mas gusto ko yung original franchise. Pero
syempre napamahal tayo sa original franchise eh. So it's hard to like if they killed off the original franchise, I think
people will be super mad.
I think like it's the DMC will be in the worst possible spot right now. Pero kasi hindi nila kinil off yung original franchise eh. Tinuloy nila. Tinuloy nila eh. So
actually may question tayo dito. We'll be answering this naman later. Pero just to answer it very quickly. I guess para sa akin, no, personally, the difference between it is really, pag sinabi mo kasing remake, it's really changing a bigger aspect of the game. Let's say
like a major one.
Major talaga. Na you stay true to the source, pero medyo iba
maybe
siya
the
from
story, the gameplay,
exactly.
Gameplay,
something major about it. But when it comes to remaster, usually just some minor details. Remember the last one was remaster for the PS3 and then they ported it to the PS4. That's called the remaster because they just improved on the graphics. They never changed the gameplay and the storyline. So that's basically
I think one better example for a remastered game siguro GTA 5.
Right.
It's been remastered for every single console.
It's so weirdly so,
that's PS3. Like I keep forgetting
PS3,
that's a PS3 game. Like that game's
because at the same time GTA 5 and The Last of Us came out of the PS3 at the time.
PS3.
I actually played both on the console and then they remastered it on the PS4. So I'm stupid enough to buy them again.
and then they're doing it on the PS5 again.
PS5 so and then they did an HD version on the PC as well, which I bought as well. So that's kind of the remake remaster argument lies. Kung if it's so major that it changes kind of the storyline, the gameplay mechanics, then that's a remake. But if it's just an improvement on maybe the controls or an improvement on the graphics, then it's a remaster. That's basically it.
Another example for a remake. Another example for a remake would be the Pokemon games. Pokemon Fire, Pokemon Red, tapos Pokemon Fire Red.
Fire Red, yes.
That's a remaster.
Leaf Green,
diba? Leaf Green,
Yung ano ba yun?
Diamond and Pearl.
Diamond and Pearl, yes.
Diamond, Shining
Pokemon
Pearl,
Yellow Gold,
Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, ganun.
Yeah.
Pero ito, side question. Like, what can you say about these games that keeps getting remastered in every single console generation? Do you think nire-remaster
sila? The Last of Us, wink.
Do you think do you think like it's a good thing? Kasi for me, I think it's a good thing for that game kasi madami pa sumusuporta sa game eh. That's why they keep remastering it every single time. Like people will still buy them. Di ba?
Right.
Pero siguro kung wala nang naglalaro ng kung walang bumibili or nagsusupport ng GTA 5, matagal na tayo nagka-GTA 6.
Right. Actually, that's a good question eh. Let's take for example The Last of Us remaster. Di ba meron tayong bagong remaster ngayon na The Last of Us?
Remaster,
sa PC, di ba? Ngayon, reviews came out for the PC and sabi nila hindi raw ganun kaganda.
It was trash.
Exactly.
Was it just a ported version?
It's just ported. It's a ported version.
It's ported.
Pero tinatawag nilang remaster, di ba?
They got Iron Galaxy to port it. The very same Iron Galaxy, mind you, are the same people who ported Arkham Knight PC. By the way.
Oh, so
that's why.
That's why it sucked. I remember when Arkham Knight came out on PC. No, not initially. There was a lot of flack on the Arkham Knight port on PC.
Like it was so bad they had to issue refunds. That's how bad the port was.
Really?
Yeah.
Yung driving alone, man. Yung
they had to fix a lot of things. Right. They had to fix a lot of things on the PC port. I don't know how they keep doing this in the gaming industry.
I think porting is cheaper. I think yun lang yun eh. Like porting would save them cost. Diba?
Right. I mean, in terms of porting, the issue that I have with them porting it on the
Optimization.
PC are the issues that they come along
Yeah.
when they do it. They never came out with a PC port that has no issues, right?
Oh, yun.
Recently, they always come up with the updates. They just fix the issue later on. That's why
Oo.
it kind of ruins the experience for gamers and kind of loses the hype behind the game that
Right.
they ported on the PC.
So, ako naman, ang question ko dito is, why is there a need for a remake? Kung halimbawa sa isang game, if you think the game was crappy and not responsive or whatever, bakit hindi lang nilalagyan ng like patches for the controls and then visual changes, di ba? Why
Because
go
it's an
through
old
that?
game.
Because it's an old game. No,
Yeah,
no
old
one,
game.
people nowadays
Like sometimes
care about
software older software aren't compatible with like current gen tech, diba?
Mhm.
So like they have to like step it up. They have to like put a lot of things into consideration para magamit siya in new gen tech, diba?
And
The
also,
only
it's
way you
a
can-
simple business thing eh.
yeah.
Right.
Diba?
Like the only
You're-
way you
you're
can
gonna have
have
to-
OG.
You're gonna have
diba?
to milk your franchise as much as you can because
that's why-
they
GTA.
That's
well,
why.
before they didn't spend as much on the franchises that they have now. Like the new franchises, they
they
spend
took a lot of
more
risk
then.
back then.
But basically they're just milking things out of it and trying to maximize profit from the franchise that has they've already used up. And you can see this in all the games that are coming out. Basically, the nostalgia market is still up.
Nostalgia talaga, no?
Like
Grabe yung
everyone
nostalgia.
is still about nostalgia. I don't think it will be
It's
gone
here.
soon.
Advance Wars.
And recently, even the new Zelda Switch that they came out with, that is catering not only for the new console collectors or
Nostalgia.
even gamers, but those that is directly
are invested in
targeting
the IP.
nostalgia market.
Agree.
People are invested in the IP.
Yeah.
Another one is some games that had remakes. This is more niche because some games never came out to the West. So
Right.
when they remake it, it's basically a new thing. Like say
Right.
ActRaiser. ActRaiser never came out to the West. It's only on the Super Famicom. Same goes for Seiken Densetsu 3, which they dubbed as Trials of Mana. A
Right.
great remake, and it doesn't play like the other one. So
Right.
it's a good thing to bring in a new old IPs in remakes. Get them introduced to this.
But to honestly thinking, like my honest opinion on this is that there will be a time that not all games will be ported, to newer consoles because there will be limits to it. Like there will be games that are just generalized to be remade, like really great titled games, like games that are underrated that was never appreciated at its time, and now it will be ported to the newer generation. One will be Mother, right? The one on. So
Mother.
that is something that was never. It was appreciated by gamers back then, but nobody knows about it. And if it gets ported now, I would definitely. I'm sure it would make waves if it comes out.
Wait,
on-
which Mother? Mother 1 and 2?
Mother
Yes,
1
Mother-
and 2 or just Earthbound?
Mother effer.
Because Mother 1 is already on the subscription sa Switch
Right,
Online.
but it's kind of
Mother 3 is the one that people want.
right.
Yeah, Mother 3 is the one that people want. You know what?
Altered Beast.
Na
Ako,
ano ko
Altered
lang to. Na ano ko lang yung Mother. When I was playing Super Smash Brothers and nakita ko si Ness, like, saan galing si Ness? And like,
Right.
Earthbound. Alright, let's gets.
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, so we're done talking about like the current and upcoming remakes. Anything else you wanna like movie remakes? So what can you say about like the movie remakes?
Oh, the new Super Mario Brothers is
Oh yeah, man.
an okay film for me. It was a good feel movie. I know a lot of same age fans didn't like the storyline
Oh,
because
so
it's
yan.
surface level, but I think
But
it's a
that-
great adaptation.
It's a kids movie. Come
It's
on.
and I don't. This is one thing that we were discussing before. You remember the Pinoy adaptations episode? It's kind of hard
Oh.
to imagine or realize a a franchise such as Super Mario adapted to a movie, what will be the story? How you will adapt it into more of a real world situation? I think and I think the new movie did it so well that it was relatable. Like it really made sense that how the world was done, how Peaches was ruling the world. Spoiler
the relationship
alert.
between the brothers.
The relationships, exactly.
I like that. And also the fact that they Peach was what? Hindi nila ginawa si Peach na damsel in distress. She made a warrior princess. Sobrang galing.
Actually,
she was in the game.
The funny thing about that, funny thing about the Peach thing is, I don't know if it's confirmed, but Nintendo fought for Peach to not be too much of a girl boss. Kasi the story is Illumination wanted her to be very outgoing, progressive, or whatever. But Nintendo no. Mario is the star. He needs to be the one. He needs to be top billing. That's what I appreciated.
Yeah, but it's good that they changed the character, like the overall character of Peach. But basically, they changed that in the Nintendo DS game, wherein Peach was a character of herself. Yeah, Princess Peach Adventures.
When I watch the Mario movie, I don't see Peach whenever she does stuff. I see Daisy. Because she's the resident.
Kind of the personality. She was very outgoing. She was definitely a Daisy character, but the one of the signature moves that she does on the game, they did it on the film, which I really liked. I was waiting for it when she was going through all the obstacles. I was waiting for that the skirt fall. When it opens and falls down slowly.
Speaking of moves, gusto ko yung remember the moves of Mario dun sa Super Mario 64. The jump, the three jump. Ang galing nun. Sobrang gustong gusto ko. When I saw it, inulit ko siya. Sabi, wow, grabe naman. Sobrang, it really gave to the fanfare. I mean, yun talaga yung 100% it was fanfare.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Literally.
It was like every bits and pieces of the film. It really catered to the fans who followed it.
Right.
I think everyone's just disappointed with the fact that it doesn't follow the original NES game, which doesn't make sense if you put it into a movie. It's so hard to adapt. There was no story. He was just saving it.
It actually makes more sense. There was a movie based on.
Yeah, I understand, but it didn't become.
What movie? No, there was no such movie.
No. It's not the one you're talking about. It's not the one you're talking about.
Okay.
Baka naman
remake. Josh, remake kasi yung unang movie. Remake yun eh.
No. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. We're talking about the other one. The first movie that came before that movie. Before it became sensationalized. With Dennis Hopper and stuff. There was an animated movie of Super Mario before. It only just recently came to light when someone decided to restore it. And it's basically
was that originally English?
No, it was a Japanese. Okay. And Toad was a girl there for some reason. Yeah. So it's basically the story beat the beats of Super Mario with a hint of Super Mario 3 based on the location.
Oh, I think the title was Super Mario Brothers: The Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach.
Yeah.
Animated adventure. It's a Japanese exclusive.
Here's one thing that I particularly love about the film is that they captured most of the characters' uniqueness. Like they were when you see the character, that's them. Right? Like with the exception of Peach, she kind of behaves too outgoing, which is I think
and I guess Toad kasi si Toad kasi yung Toad na treasure hunter eh.
Yeah.
Sorry, doon sa mga nakanood na nun, sinasabi nila na the bad reviews actually gave way pa to ano man tawag mo doon, help the movie para panoorin pa ng mga tao. That's obviously
Publicity is any publicity is good publicity.
Most of the
Whatever
negative
it is.
reviews that I've seen is the current political issues in the US,
That's
which
the
I do want to
funniest part.
discuss.
Yeah,
Right?
they were looking for something deep in
Exactly.
Mario.
It's Super Mario.
It's supposed to be
It's
a light
a
movie.
franchise. Right? I mean, the scenes where Bowser was basically dominating the entire world made sense
King world.
because that's what he is, and they didn't actually remove the fact that he's still obsessed with Princess Peach,
Yeah,
right?
Right.
But they made it more realistic and makes more sense to make it into a
Agree.
movie. Just imagine if he's just crazy obsessed with Peach. Like, where do you go after that? Nowhere.
Yeah.
Where do you go from Peaches? That one was weird because
Peaches.
even for me that was too much. Like Peaches, like that was
Oh,
weird.
you know,
It was
it's
weird so
still
much.
Blackjack. Blackjack
Yeah.
will always sing in any movie that he's in. And actually ako nakita ko talaga na when Blackjack was Bowser, he was Bowser. Voice, everything. Pero pag kumakanta na siya, he returns
It's just Jack Black when he
Jack
started
Black.
singing.
Oh yeah.
Peach.
I actually watched his interview
I loved it.
about that song.
Jam
The
with
initial
me.
song, he did his own twist to it, so it was a different than the original.
So it is
The song
added.
that we heard on the movie and on YouTube, Jack Black added his own flair to it, because when the creators asked him, it wasn't originally part of the film. They just asked him late into the film, and then told the creators to let me do something about it. Let me make it into a Jack Black song,
Right.
and it was
makes
so good. I actually like that scene.
Gustuhan ko siya. It was great.
It was
Another
funny,
thing that I really
not
loved.
top Billboard charting.
Another thing that I really love is yung the nostalgia that you feel in every scene eh.
Oh
Kung
yeah.
maalala niyo yung power-ups, diba? The fire one. Although wala namang ice eh.
Right.
The leaf, diba? The cat. Ang ganda
Yeah.
lang nung pasok ng mga
Canopy.
power-ups and sinama nila as much as they can. Even the Cape Mario, diba? This is a movie.
Yeah, the
Lang
Cape
sila.
Mario, even
Oo.
the
song itself.
Mario Kart. Basically, they
Mario Kart,
introduced Mario
exactly.
Kart
Oh.
into the game. Donkey Kong
Pinasok
was
na nila.
amazing.
one.
The
I have
character portrayal
one.
is amazing.
I have one complaint with that movie. They used
What?
Just one, buti naman.
I have one complaint about it. You know how they like to put in pop culture songs, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was my one complaint because I heard,
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
talking
I
about
heard-
Take On Me.
yeah, I heard the original. I heard the original that was supposed to be in that scene. It was amazing. It was basically a reference to the Donkey Kong games from Donkey Kong 1,
Right.
Donkey Kong
Right,
Country,
okay,
even
okay.
Donkey Kong Jr. Like
Right.
Yes.
But I kind of get why they did it, because the musical score in the beginning, like the nostalgia, it's a
You have to
nostalgia
go
fade
through
for
that.
everyone,
Oh,
because
agreed.
they know that most of the viewers or who will watch it are from the 90s, and if they play those music, it just makes it more nostalgic, because not everyone will know the other musical scores that we know from the other games. And
but it sounds so epic. Like it would
I know.
Actually, I mean,
I
Ako,
think I would
may
agree.
reason eh.
I wish that they added more game score than pop music. I would agree.
as for as for Take On Me, it was actually the number one song when the original Mario was launched sa Nintendo Entertainment System. Kaya siya
Oh, okay.
The more
nandun.
you know.
Oh,
Alright.
the more you know. Although, so maganda yung ginawa nila na they were piecing the nostalgia together
Every step of the
in a
way.
form
yeah.
of a movie. Every step of the way.
Yeah.
But
So-
guys, I'm gonna ask one thing. What did you think about the Rainbow Road?
I like
Nagulat
it.
ako doon. Nagulat ako doon.
Right?
Wow,
Me too.
Rainbow
Like-
Road.
When it came out, I wasn't expecting it to be the actual Rainbow Road, but when they did
ako rin eh.
it was a good. It was a
Sobrang
feel
solid
good
yun.
movie. I like
It
the
became
movie.
twisted.
Also,
metal
how they
here.
created the cards, no?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So basically, Mario is like, by all means, a remake better than the
Oh, yeah.
original.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
100%
Original
better than
movie
the-
that we don't talk about. Yes.
Yeah, that we don't talk about, right? So after all this praise na natanggap ni Mario, let's talk about remakes that are worse than their
Talaga gusto mo
original.
pag-usapan to? Oh
Let's
shit.
go
Here we go.
Sabi nyo nga, let's drive
go down
to
that
the
road.
rainbow road. Let's
Here we
drive
go.
down that road. Let's
Pero
go.
agad meron pero before that unahan ko na kayo kasi nag-change ng topic eh. There are other remakes then up in the coming up so just to let everyone know, if you are aware, may mga upcoming remakes pa tayo na darating in different platforms such as yung True Lies. It will become a series sa TV. There will be a new Wonka movie.
Harry Potter. Harry Potter will be a TV series, everyone.
Oh yeah, Harry
Pero
Potter will be a
staying true to the
series.
book, Staying true to the books, not the movie.
Yeah.
Sana nga. Kasi the last
tayo
time we
harap
expected. Tapos Masters of the Universe will happen in 2024.
I forgot about that.
I'll not,
That's one worse.
if you watch the 87 film, which I know you did, Trickster,
They did this
medyo
before
mag-explain
and they
na.
failed.
Yeah,
Let's
so
not do it again.
and then there's Front Mission 2
Give them a
remake,
chance,
and then
man.
the Star Wars Knights of
We
the Old
did.
Republic. So to name a few.
We did
them a
give them a chance with the Netflix release.
Crash.
dahil nabanggit mo yan, remakes that are worse than the originals. Mauna na ako para makapag tayo. We'll
Ang
go
dami
for
mo
the
sinabi kanina.
yung upcoming remakes lang, bullet point lang ako. Sa akin is a remake that is worse than the OG is Masters of the Universe Netflix. And I will say this because of what
Actually, it was not a remake, but it was
It was a continuation.
It was a sequel.
Let's not forget that it was a sequel.
By the
to
way, there's
original.
there's two Netflix. So
Oh,
maybe
marami
yeah,
was
there's two.
yung isa,
The
the worst,
continuation
one was better.
and the
the
other-
worst one. Was it a remake?
Which one? So which one?
yung isa na ginawa nilang robot
The
si
He-Man
Orko. And what the hell is the Johnny
sobrang
Bravo,
laking-
He-Man, and Skeletor?
What?
Alright.
That was the worst one. Yung ba yung worst one eh?
Yan, yun yung ano ko talaga. Parang sabi ko, Orko is not, parang ginawa nila doon, Orko, doon sa original is this flying creature na does magic, di ba? Pero dito sa Masters of the Universe na Netflix, ang ginawa nila kay Orko is parang robot who thinks like a
Oh
magician.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Shit. Forgot about
And
that.
sabi ko, this is so wrong. Sabi kong ganun, bakit yung sinira yung, to cater ba to the current, To
No,
cater
it's
ba
more
to the
like
current?
what I was thinking when it came to that He-Man was a different direction. Like, what if He-Man took place
Yan.
in cyberpunk?
In space. Hello, in
To be
space.
fair, He-Man is in space. They have.
There goes the universe.
He-Man is in a different universe, not in space.
Oh,
Well,
They have
different universe na-
technology.
pero hindi ganun ka-advanced na
the
technology.
Threads.
Di ba?
That's fucking
Oh, so
weird.
yun. That's my bad bad remake for me. So kayo naman, what are yours? Start tayo, Trickster. Do you have one?
Okay, this is going to be a hot take for me.
Oh.
I prefer the original Tomb Raider, the original Lara
Wait.
Croft.
Tatsulok.
No.
Yes.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah,
No,
Angelina
he-
Jolie
Oh,
and
yeah,
the video
yeah,
games, and the video game.
Yeah.
Both
Oh.
movie and video games.
Right, so ibig
Okay,
sabihin, mas
wow.
nagustuhan mo yung original kesa dun sa Tomb Raider Anniversary, Legend, and Underworld. series.
I just don't
Kasi
like
they
how
were
they
reboots.
portrayed Lara in the reboot Lara. Oh, I'm sorry,
Right.
Laura Croft.
Laura.
She became English somehow.
150% it is.
Wasn't she English in the original movie?
Yeah,
Game?
she
was
weird.
already English. She was British.
Yeah, but I don't know why they called her Laura Croft.
Baka sa
You
ano,
make it
baka
so
sa
fancy.
ano lang.
It's so weird how they just portrayed her. But like the game is fine. It's not just as as actiony as I remembered back then. They made her into some weird combination of I'm strong but I'm also in trouble. They didn't know what to do. Like those death scenes were too much.
Oh wait, are you talking about the current games? The current
games.
Yeah.
Tama ba?
The
Kasi
current
I
state
think-
games, yeah.
I think the difference between the old ones and the newer ones was, syempre the old ones may Tomb Raider ka na prominent na siya na talagang siya si Lara Croft Tomb Raider 'di ba?
Right.
Pero the newer ones kasi I think this was more of a reboot kasi you were playing Lara Croft as the innocent Lara Croft before.
Bago
Bago siya
lang
maging
niya doon.
But
bago siya
start pa lang
maging
niya.
But
parang ganun.
Tomb Raider 3 had her as a rookie too, didn't she?
Yeah.
Was she
Yeah.
until then? Alam ko hindi eh. At 3 yung tatlo, yung pangatlo.
Basically, there was a Tomb Raider game where she was she has her master, right? The first levels was her go-to for her tutorial. Like she even had
The first
pigtails,
one.
if I remember right. I don't remember, but basically that was
Ponytail lang,
her,
ponytail.
so that was her tutorial mission, which is fine, which is nice. She has her master teach her the ropes, and as for
sa 2 yun, Tomb Raider 2, the original movie game.
yeah, right, kasi 3 is Last Revelation. So yeah, I prefer that Lara Croft as she's more actiony.
Right.
Same goes for the movie. It's just the same as the new Lara Croft. Like,
Well, doon nila binase eh.
yeah, that's why I never heard anyone talk about it when it came out. When it came out, no one talked about it. Even someone I know who is a fan of Tomb Raider. Like, okay, you saw it, right?
I think it's with the casting, because remember at the time Lara Croft came out, Angelina Jolie was at the peak of her career. She was on the top. She's an A-lister. She was young back then, but she was already an A-lister when Lara Croft came out, and everyone was just hyping for every movie that comes out with her name on it. And I think that's one of the reasons why the new film didn't do as well as back then. But when I watched the new film, yeah, I kind of get it. It was a bit boring.
Right.
Because
Again, Angelina Jolie pa rin.
I mean, they parang inulit lang nila yung ayoko sa mga new films. They always have that super plain trope na troubled yung character. Like there's always an internal issue that they cannot fix like immediately, and then up until the end of the movie there's no resolution for that conflict, which I hate.
They always want to be
the resolution was to be the best fighter in the Mortal Kombat tournament.
Okay, so that's yours. That's yours worst remake. Bar none.
Chino.
Not really, man. Mas marami pang mas grabe. Mas marami pang grabe. Pero I mean,
what's yours?
I will not go into too much detail. Kasi alam niyo naman eh. Di ba? Alam niyo, I've talked about it before. Alam niyo na to. Pero, I mean, come on. Yung sinasabi ni Lina trope na troubled siya, ganyan. He didn't know kung sino siya. He didn't know kung ano siya, fighter siya, pero lost siya. Tapos the only way to regain his soul or whatever is to, find out what his destiny is. To be Aquaman. Weird eh. I mean, although Mortal Kombat 2021 wasn't considered a remake, but it was a reboot. Reboot siya. So hindi talaga siya considered na remake.
So we have 3 reboots from MK9, MK11, and now MK. Okay, this will be the fourth actually. MK12 will be yeah. So apat.
Actually, look, ano kaya yung magiging... Well, Mortal Kombat is very heavy sa reboot, diba? Pero in terms of remake talaga, siguro sa akin, ang isa sa mga bad remakes ko, kung sa video games sa pag-uusapan mo na, video games muna, definitely, isa sa mga pinayo ko was Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5. That game was trash.
Why?
Literally, it was trash. Na pag binili mo siya, wag mo na siya ilagay sa PS4 mo, itapon mo na siya diretso at sayang. Walang kwenta talaga yung game na yon. Sobrang kadiri talaga. Hate ko siya. Pero just moving on to video games. Isa sa mga remakes na hindi ko nagustuhan, movies to, was you guessed it, nung pag-usapan na natin before, it was the Karate Kid, which I thought was actually a reboot. Because I thought it was a reboot, but you were all right. It was actually a remake. At ang pangit niya talaga. Sobrang pangit niya talaga. As in, hindi ko talaga siya gusto. Guys, itigil na natin yon. Pwede ba?
Okay,
Stop!
There is one point I will give to Kung Fu Kid. It's the training. Because he actually
montage,
because he actually gave reasons as to what his student is doing compared to compared to wax on wax off. Like that was a good moment too. Pero Jackie Chan explained how Kung Fu works. Like Kung Fu is everywhere in everything in what we do. That's one
But
point
still,
I will give
it's
it.
just one part of the movie.
Yeah, that's why I said just one.
Sana yun na lang. Remember yung I don't know if you guys remember this Si Jason David Frank, nung Green Ranger pa siya, he released a Kung Fu tutorial video before. Nagkaroon ako nun. And so, sobrang saya kasi I had a gi at pinapanood ko yan. VHS ba yun? Nalagay ko yun. Tapos, as in, I was training with Jason David Frank. Sana yun na lang ginawa ni Jackie Chan. Wag na yung movie, yun na lang.
You can do that in Jackie Chan Adventures. Every end of the episode.
Every end of the episode. Like may interview something.
Yeah.
There was this interview portion.
Ito, I'm sure alam ko na. Pero baka kasi mabago yung hindi gusto ni Lee. O, ikaw ba, Palits? Ano ba yung pinaka-hate mong remake?
No, we're not gonna talk about the Netflix TV adaptation. That's crap altogether.
Plus,
I haven't.
not a remake.
It's not a remake.
It's continuation.
Para yung
It's canon.
That's one thing that I hate about it. It's fucking
Fortunately, it's
canon.
canon.
But I have a different thing. I would go for the Ghostbusters 2016 film.
Okay, yeah.
Wait, is this the all-women cast? All-female cast?
Yeah, not the Afterlife. Actually, with the film, I have
Afterlife, yes, let's go.
the worst would be the 2016 film, and the better than the OG, or at least the same level, would be the Afterlife. It's kind of a remake because they changed the entire story, but it's technically a continuation of the first three films. But the one in 2016, I actually have a few talking notes here. One of the things that I hate about the entire
note?
Yeah, sabi ko sa'yo, I'm prepared now. So one note that I literally hated about the entire thing was the casting. They basically have all the same personalities.
Right.
Remember the first film, how everyone stood out from each other because they have totally different personalities. And on this film, on the 2016, they're just all the same character.
They're all comedians.
I'm not questioning their skills in comedy, but the way that I see film, whenever I watch films, I always look for the characters, how they act and how they are portrayed. And when I saw it, like, what is this? It's basically all McCarthy. Like everyone is just doing the same skit all the time. Like there was nothing different.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't
that's what I was saying with they're all comedians. They're all just one
They're just
comedian.
the same.
exactly.
You're
They
not
have
playing
the
Peter
same.
Venkman.
Exactly.
You're Melissa McCarthy.
You remember how Spengler, Venkman, and how they interact? They have different personalities, and they make the comedy kind of a slapstick comedy.
With Winston, the one from the outside na wala siyang kaalam.
Right, exactly. And that is something that they didn't do well. In fairness, the director did say that it will be different from the original movie. But again, you are using a franchise. Well, basically, they use the entire storyline of the original film. They just put in female characters. And then they changed the office assistant instead of a woman to Chris Hemsworth. The movie did so bad that it has a budget of $144 million, and it only made $229 million like in the entire world, which is at a loss of $70 million. That's how bad it got, because they had to at least make $300 million with all the expenses of marketing, the theater payments and everything, to at least have a $300 million box office. Unfortunately, they didn't do that. And on the first day that they came out with the film trailer, on the first day they made a record that it's the top disliked film trailer in YouTube with 13,000 likes on its first day coming out. That's how bad.
Pinanood ko siya. You know why?
Same.
Because of Melissa McCartney.
Yeah, I love Melissa McCarthy's comedy.
Yun lang.
But the whole remake was trash.
Yeah.
There wasn't any.
Yeah, like me.
There wasn't anything mentioned.
Like let's see how bad it really is. And yes, it was.
Yeah, exactly. I gave it a fair shake. Like I gave the movie a fair shake, because at the end of the day, it's a Ghostbuster film. I'm a big fan of the franchise. I grew up watching those movies, and that's why. In contrast, I chose The Afterlife, because half the budget of the 2016 film, they made such a great film using the same plot line that they had in the original movie and continued it. They technically used the same plot line that they had in the first movie into The Afterlife, Ghostbusters Afterlife, but with younger characters, which is a podcast.
Mga apo.
Yung mga apo nung original characters. And I really love the Stranger Things treatment that they added to it, because I don't know, somehow even one of the things that I love is how Paul Rudd became the spiritual successor of Rick Moranis, Lois Tully, in the film. He was possessed by an evil spirit, because that was in the original film, and it was really great. I love The Afterlife. And some facts, they actually only had the budget of $75 million, and the total gross for the entire film, not including the DVD sales, was $204 million, which is actually very profitable for the film. And the cameo and everything, the original 5 characters actually came to the film and appeared in the film, which I really like.
They had roles, they had dialogue. Diba? Kahit may yung patay na eh.
Right, exactly. The chills, tumatayo yung balahibo ko when
the ending, man.
Spengler came out. Yeah, that was amazing.
That's came out and they also
That's how you do a remake. If there's anything.
Actually, I have a question. May question ako for all of you. Since we're all in agreement na hindi naman talaga maganda yung 2016 Ghostbusters, do you think it is at the same level ng Dragon Ball Evolution at the Tekken movie that no one wants to really see but they saw? It's the same level.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Here's the thing. It's not
the worst of the worst.
Yeah, it's not a great remake, but it's a good comedy film. That's how I would say it. Like there were really fun. There were funny moments. There were moments that all the characters actually did the comedy that they are known for, which is great. And I love that about the actors, but they were not the characters that they were portraying. You don't even see how the obsession is with how the original characters were portraying it. They were not as obsessed with ghosts as the original Ghostbusters. And one thing that I hated is the cameos. They actually changed all the character cameos. Basically, they rebooted the entire thing. They are now the original Ghostbusters, and they didn't have any Ghostbusters before.
And they killed off Bill Murray.
Exactly.
In the most disrespectful way ever.
and in one of the interviews, I actually watched an interview with there was an article, I think, wherein they actually interviewed Bill Murray. The reason why he did the cameo was only because of the friendship he has with McCarthy. That's it. And then the other characters never wanted to participate because of the storyline. Even Rick Moranis, Sigourney Weaver, didn't want to because they think it was.
Wala na siya kasi.
Yeah, exactly. And even you remember the Taxi Driver cameo?
Yeah, si Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, and they kind of just did it to support their fellow actors in the movie. But overall, when it comes down to it, even the old characters didn't appreciate the movie, I think.
Yeah, I disagree with the comedy though. Like, especially when the director himself said majority of the dialogue is ad-lib.
Yeah, you feel it. You kind of see it.
Pag ginawa nilang Saturday Night Live yun.
Yeah, basically, that's what...
You think, except for Melissa McCartney, halos lahat yun, Saturday Night Live,
yeah, they are. Yeah. All of them
with
are.
Dan Aykroyd, Dan Aykroyd was also Saturday Night.
Well, to be fair with the original cast, they meticulously wrote the movie for the Ghostbusters. They actually followed the script. This is trying to be something. They don't even know what they're supposed to be. That's it.
Yeah. It's a comedy film. It's not a Ghostbuster film. That's how I would characterize the 2016 film. It's a good comedy. It's not even great. It's an okay comedy film wherein they portrayed their real life characters. Like that's what they do in comedy. But with Afterlife, it was amazing. Like the tech kid, the skittish brother, di ba parang lagi siyang takot, and everyone on it has their own personality, which was portrayed really well. And the characters that came out with Sigourney Weaver, and even the Annie Potts was there, and she portrayed her original character, which was something that I think a lot more remakes should do, or at least continue doing so. Paying homage to the original source material always does well with the community that follows the franchise.
Okay.
Right.
So yeah, those things are like too much to handle. I haven't seen half of those things you mentioned.
Buti na lang, hindi mo
quarter of those things you mentioned, di ba? So sobrang dami. So let's do mag-icebreaker muna tayo. I know marami na rin tayo nakitang comments. So let's go sa ating second half ng Captain Mike's pabati portion. Mike, take it away.
So, thank you, paring Just, no? So, ang comment, start tayo dito, may sabi ni Jeff, sana walang remake ang Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Sana meron.
Tinatanong ni Will kung does DMC counted as a remake or reboot? Nasagot na yun. Nasagot na rin yung tanong ni JM, the difference between remake and remastered. Si Will, wishing for a Legend of Legaia remake.
Oh, yeah.
Shadow of the Colossus din, to 42 PS4, sabi niya. Tapos,
that's a good one.
Si Francisco Guevara, sabi niya, General Tuna.
That's one day.
Ito si Bijoy from dun sa page ko naman. He wanted Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Si Joseph sabi niya, nag-heart style lang. Si Harem, alam na ni Harem yan. Naghahanap ng sakit ng ulo to si Harem. Sabi ni Will, as a Sentai fan, I don't like Power Rangers Mega Force, which is
You
a
take
remake
that
of
back.
Tiger.
Take that back. Mega
Tapos,
Force is like my
Well,
second
you know, to be
favorite Power
fair,
Rangers.
lahat ng Power Rangers, they're all remakes.
Technically, right?
Oo.
There's
Ah,
only usage.
sabi ni Tres, i-remake lang, wag palitan ang Tatsulok.
Isipin mo na lang yung current Tomb Raider, pero Tatsulok.
It's so
Sabi ni Stanley naman ni 2021, si Tres, siyempre natawa na lang siya. Sabi ni Allen, related, thank you. Sabi ni Stanley, Kolyang sucks pa rin.
Kolyang Sucks is the best.
Yeah,
Sabi ni Stanley, Tricks, Prankster
best.
si Ed sa Twitter. Grabe naman sa pangit yung Tekken movie. Sabi ni Daryl, siningit din ni Daryl, buti na lang wala na siya. Dragon Ball Evolution.
Dragon Ball Evolution is like an adaptation.
It's an adaptation.
Yeah, it's not a remake.
Yeah.
Ayun. Siyempre, si Banyagan Native nandito,
Yo, sucks,
passing by to say hi.
Hi, sir. Kamusta?
Sabi rin niya, ang akala kong
Hello po,
remake
Sir
ng
Joe.
Ligaya ang itawag mo sa akin. I don't know.
Pati i-remake ang Kangkong.
Meron din tayo doon sa poll questions natin, tinatanong kung the poll question is ano yung remake wishlist mo. So sabi ni Wilt, Legend of Ligaya. Sabi ni Rafi, Final Fantasy 6 remake. And then si Daryl sabi niya Chrono Trigger.
Funny thing about
yun.
that,
Trigger.
Final Fantasy
Yeah, Chrono Trigger
supposed
would
to
be a
have
good one.
Final Fantasy 6 was supposed to have a remake. Yung 3D, like in the vein of Final Fantasy 3 and 4.
Yeah.
4, 5, and 6 was supposed to have the same decision. Pero for some reason, Square decided na let's move on to something else.
Right.
Let's do the pixel remaster instead.
They're fine, but I guess ikaw, Jazz, what's your worst remake? before
Worst
we move on?
remake. For video games, like I was a pretty huge fan of like GoldenEye 64.
Oh, I feel bad
Really
for
good.
you.
I'm a really good big fan of GoldenEye 64. Multiplayer, nilalaro namin ng mga pinsan ko lagi yan. I always use Oddjob.
Nilalaro mo pa rin ba sa Switch?
Kaya pala,
Do you still play it on the Switch now?
No, I haven't. But I think the worst remake, GoldenEye
2012.
Reloaded, like
Yeah.
the one that's released on Xbox and PS3. It's not GoldenEye. That's borderline Call of Duty already. So
They also changed the
sobrang-
storyline.
Yeah, they also said they change almost everything. Like wala na yung nakakairitang escort mission na pucha nagpapakamatay na lang yung ina-escort mo for some reason. It's not the same. Like they totally blew it out of the window. I hate it that much. I hated it so much. For movies naman, remake series, I know I'm gonna take a lot of hate for this. Ang Probinsyano. Said it. For my fans man dyan,
You went there!
I went there.
Why?
I
I understand.
went Rendon Labador. I went full Rendon Labador.
You went full on motivational rise.
Mag-o-open din ako ng restaurant at huwag kayong kumain dun. Pero yeah, like ang Probinsyano is like, god damn that series
Which
went
was
too long.
on Netflix called Brothers.
Brothers.
That was the weirdest thing.
They added a lot of bullshit in that thing na wala sa original wala sa original FPJ. And like di pa ako graduate ng high school. Nandyan na yan.
Di nga!
Umalis na lang ako ng tier 1. Nandyan pa rin siya. Like,
Seryoso ba yan? Seryoso yun?
Decades.
third year high school or second year, basta di pa ako gumagraduate ng high school.
Grabe,
Nagsimula
high
yung
school?
Probinsyano.
What the hell?
And then,
wait.
sobrang tagal.
Teka nga.
Sobrang tagal. Sergio, like,
Ay, wait, yeah. Okay. Kailan yung high school na yan, Jazz? Third year high
Tandaan
school.
nyo guys, yung ang probinsyano, it was on TV 50 years na.
What the hell?
it's like, God
50 years
damn.
tumakbo. 50, ay di ba?
Hindi pala, di pa ako gumagraduate ng college. Yun pala, hindi high
Okay.
school. Di pa ako gumagraduate ng college.
2015.
Yeah,
It was
di pa ako gumagraduate
2015.
ng college. Nandyan na yan. Umalis na lang ako ng
Okay.
tier 1. Nandyan pa rin siya. So like, graduate na ako, nagkatrabaho. Umalis na ako sa trabaho ko, saka siya nawala. So like, it's too much. Like, God damn. Alright.
Dude, there's 1,696 episodes.
Wait, tapos ano pa yun? 30 minutes per 30 minutes per episode, di ba?
Yeah,
They're
30
about to
minutes.
beat One Piece on episode count.
No, tatalo nila yung One Piece man sinasabi ko sa inyo.
Holy shit.
And I think another one, a remaster that we really do not need. Warcraft 3 Reforged. Nobody asked for it. No one asked for it. There was no demand at all. Walang may gusto. Who the freaking hell asked for
It
that?
made even worse when they deleted Warcraft 3 off of Battle.net. You can't play original
Oo
Warcraft.
nga eh.
Diba? Like, god damn. Like, it's just.
What year was it
idea.
when it came out?
The Reforged?
Reforged?
Mm.
2018, I think, or 20.
Yeah.
2020. Wow.
Yeah, 2020.
It's
It was so
ayoko
bad.
lang. It was supposed to be a remaster. I mean, just a remaster, and then it ended up becoming a full-on remake. Like, okay,
They said they were going to change up cutscenes, right? They give more context.
Right.
That would be fun. Like, and they showcased Stratham for them to mean business, and then it just ended up look, a gold mine. Let's set up base there. That's my quote for their justification for making Warcraft 3 reports.
Yeah.
but all right. Ayun. So basically, we praised everything. We praised all of the video games that alam nating better, right? Better than like the worse than the original, better than the original. Now let's talk about your remake wish list. And kasi nakita natin yung mga viewers, they had the remake wish lists already. And let me start off with Dino Crisis. Ang dami ko nakitang rumors. I don't know if it's confirmed. Wag nyo naman ako pasahin. Don't break my heart. I really need that Dino Crisis remake. Please.
I think with the new technology now, with how Arc and Arc 2 is being developed,
Diba?
I think it's highly possible. Because back then there wasn't much, because the details of a dinosaur is really hard to do graphically, because there's a lot of scaling. It's technically like doing hair in a Pixar film. And I think with the current technology, it's not far from reality to see a Dino Crisis remake. I would love to play that.
Diba? Anong hinihintay nila? The demand is high.
You have Exoprimal. Get the Exoprimal instead.
Forget Jurassic Park Evolution.
By the way, the Jurassic Park game was trash. As a fan of dinosaurs, and it was like
Wait, ano ba Jurassic Park yung evolution? Was
Who
this
wants
yung
that
evolution? Yung evolution ba to tinutukoy mo palit?
the new one on Steam. It was trash.
Like it's a fun like park builder, you know. Pampalipas oras, yeah.
Who wants it? Nobody wants it. It's Jurassic Park.
And it's a sequel.
It has a sequel, tama minsan. It has a fucking sequel. And then like yung characters sa game are actually characters in the movie. Like
I would
Chris
love
Pratt
to
is
have
there,
something like
you
that,
know.
though, pero it's
I mean,
a bit too expensive.
the new film of Jurassic Park was kind of okay, like the first one, but the other ones were trash as well. But the game was definitely trash.
yeah.
ako sisingit ko na to, and I'm gonna go very different here. Sa remake ko, dalawang games na nilaro ko na nung for the PlayStation 1, no? One is Tenchu.
Pong remake.
Oh, yeah.
No. Tenchu Stealth Assassin. Wala tayong nakitang remake nun of sorts. I mean, we definitely outgrew the polygons and the square shapes of Rikimaru and Ayane. And then Xenogears.
Pong remake,
yeah.
Mike.
Oh no, Xenogears.
I-remake yung Xenogears pero full-on visual novel na.
Wala naman. Ang maganda kasi gameplay. Maganda kasi yung gameplay niya. I just wish lang naman eh. Di ba? So, I go for that.
Like, unfortunately, Xenogears.
Ito kita mo ugali nito. Sabi ni Wilt, Barney remake, there is already a Barney.
Yeah, there is a new character.
Like the 3D Barney.
But I like what Daryl Edicious said. Bloody Roar.
Bloody Roar,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, man.
Bloody Roar would be a great
Well, to be
remake.
fair, there is hope for Bloody Roar because Ating and Konami might have trademark the Bloody Roar's name.
Yes, please.
I hope they do it.
Na-disappoint ako sa Killer Instinct eh. So, kung pwedeng, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't feel playing Killer Instinct. I'd rather play Tekken for some reason. Hindi ko na-enjoy Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct is more on traditional 2D kasi. Killer Instinct... That's why I prefer the modern Killer Instinct because in the old Killer Instinct, I can't make sense of what buttons I'm pressing because it's using claymation, stop motion na, no?
Yeah, stop motion, yeah.
With the modern Killer Instinct, I can find out which buttons I can combo break. And everything is a lot more clearer.
Right.
To the point, that game is so clear that even a blind person can play it at top tier levels.
Are you serious?
I am serious. Someone actually plays fucking Killer Instinct online, by the way, just using his ears, and he's winning with full gore. Full gore of all
How do you do that?
Galing naman nun.
That's how
for me, one of my remake wish list when it comes to games, I think we need it now. Monster Rancher, like even the TV series needs a freaking remake at least.
Remake, yeah.
I don't know why nobody remembers the shit out of it. Maybe because of Pokemon.
Japan does.
Monster Rancher is one of the best monster-based games. Like, it's amazing. Remember when you're trying to summon and you have to change the CD on your
PlayStation? It was very innovative back then.
It was, and that is something that we would like to see in the modern technology, or at least the new ports.
There kind of is, pero it's not technically a Monster Rancher game, but it has the same mechanics because it's made by the same people who made Monster Rancher.
Right.
The one with Ultraman and the Kaijus. That one was weird.
Yeah. That's my remake wish list basically. Si Notch Mortal Kombat pa din.
Ayoko na nga yun, sa totoo lang eh.
Malapit na.
Ako seryoso, it's not really a remake for me. It's more of staying true to the genre. Ako Suiko din talaga ang gusto kong makita in full blast, in another in new graphics. Kahit iba yung storyline, pero the fact na sobrang ganda kasi ng story ng Suikoden na if you were to remake it, paano mo siya gagawin? How can you beat the original? Kasi let's say for Final Fantasy 7, they weren't able to beat it kasi naging ibang category na siya eh. Parang ganun yung ginawa nila sa remake ng Final Fantasy 7. Pero with Suikoden, can you top yung original one? Kasi yung original, madali lang eh. Kasi really, it's just, 16-bit pixel. 32-bit pixels.
Yeah, 32-bit. turn-based.
Right?
I think that's the hard part with remaking some of the games, because there's kind of, those kind of things like doing turn-based games that is technically boring immediately for a game.
Right.
Like a lot of new gamers will not appreciate. That's why it's really for Final Fantasy VII. I kind of understand why people hated it, especially the original fans, because of that. Because they made it more complicated. Which in the original game, it was very simple. It was very fast-paced, and you don't have to, to move so much. For me, when I played the Final Fantasy, even the 15, I hated it because I get the dizzy spells. Kasi nahihilo na ako when the game is too fast. I just nahihilo na lang ako sa game. So, I hated it.
Yeah, warp strike everywhere.
I agree ako doon sa sinabi ng Final Fantasy VII Remake. Kasi the FF7 Remake, they made it so modernized to the point na kahit kung paano maglaro yung mga tao, what their likes are, ano yung trending na gameplay and all that, pinasok nila doon eh. If you were to put in details like yung turn-based nga na turn-based games, okay, may mga maglalaro pa rin yan. Pero I mean, in regards to business-wise, mas marami kasing pupunta towards something na medyo action talaga.
Yeah.
Hence, the open world games that we have right now, they're full-on action RPGs. Diba? Well, hindi siya turn-based eh. So, paano mo siya papasok? Paano mo papasok yung Suikoden doon? How will you change that? And how will you make it and improve it better? Gagawin mo 150 instead of 108.
Hindi kasi there are modern RPGs din naman. It's true, people will still go for will go for the action more. There are still some RPG enthusiasts there.
Right.
Two examples would be, and this is from the same developer, Octopath Traveler and the recent
it's true.
Live remake remaster.
Right. Remaster. I think it was a remaster. Live Alive.
Like how was Suikoden? How was this combat in Suikoden again? Turn-based.
Turn-based.
Right.
Because
marami pa sila.
Oh, di ba?
Anim sila eh.
You can still do that. Like the Live Alive did something the same. It's turn-based while also tile-based, where your attack is based on the grid. Like it can be like a square
strategy
shape.
Pa rin, no? Strategy din.
So it still takes a bit of brain power to
Actually, Wilt raised a good point. Chrono Cross is actually one game that I want remade. Kasi although naging maganda yung game, it wasn't really good. Para sa akin clunky siya, masyado mabagal yung animation and all that. But then again, if you look at it as a whole, maganda yung Chrono Cross. Especially
you still have to
medyo
do endings. That's a lot of fucking endings you have to do. So it's a bit hard to do.
So
I like what he said. Legend of Dragoon. That is something that I would like to see. I played that game. That is a classic that needs to be remade.
Nabagit ko to kay Trickster no na separate conversation. I wish for Rogue Galaxy as a remake.
Why is that?
Unfortunately, kasi kay Rogue Galaxy, it was somewhat of it was kind of ahead of its own time kind of an RPG.
Right.
Pag ni-remake mo pa siya kasi parang ano na yung susunod mo? It was already in 3D.
It's most likely a remaster at this point for Rogue Galaxy, because it's kind of
it was re-released though. It was re-released as a digital game. But again, yes, I agree though. Rogue Galaxy, one of the best games I played. Di ba natatapos? Pero meron ako sa PS4. Go! Let's play it.
Worth it. Grabe yan.
Bounce remake.
But they actually did that on the phone, right? There's a different version. They actually did the Bounce remake.
Ape Escape remake. Okay lang ba yan?
I know people FPS na escape.
Or ano, so ikaw din remake pero lahat ng NPC pwede mong i-recruit.
That's Dragon's Dogma.
Which I also have on Steam.
Yeah.
Kaya ayoko talaga ng flex culture. Ayoko ng flex culture talaga.
Kaya ko i-flex eh.
Culture eh.
Ano sabi mo na ba? Nasabi mo na ba yung wishlist mo?
Si Jazz. Oh, Jazz, what's yours? Oo.
Yeah, I said Dino Crisis. That's the thing. Yeah.
That's Dino Crisis? Okay.
I want Dino Crisis.
Okay lang sa'yo, i-remake yun. Pero yung takbo pa rin niya, ganun pa rin.
Ganun pa rin
Controls pa rin.
One thing for like a TV series that I would like to see remade is Captain Planet. I think it will be more relevant now on how
it's time now.
At this time we're basically waiting for our doom.
Alam mo, maganda yung Captain Planet na remake. Tapos i-remake din nila yung Toxic Avengers. Tapos magka-collaboration. Hindi natin na mangyayari.
I mean, with all the woke culture that's happening, I think it will get a portion of that market somehow, right? Like
Captain Planet Go daw yung pangalan. Captain Planet
Go.
Don't remind me of Thundercats.
Go.
Okay, so
Thundercats remake.
I forgot about Thundercats Roar. Thank you for releasing the nightmares.
Hey, alam mo, with all the cartoons that were remade now, like yung Looney Tunes, yung crappy Looney Tunes, yung crappy na Disney
Then I realized,
cartoons.
like, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is a remake din pala. So, like, that's a remake better than the original.
Is it a
actually, iniisip ko rin eh. Kasi it's basically the same better animation.
Kasi the original Full Metal Alchemist, they botched out the ending. Like, they figured out the ending kasi nauna na sila sa anime. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is like a fully remade version, and then they stuck to like the real manga, manga
dapat ba adaptation
story.
Siya? Was it an adaptation or was it a remake? I'm not really sure.
Because like there was a first anime that came out, like
short lang yun.
Yeah, and then they made Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is like a way better version. Captain Planet, but it's Don Cheadle. Yes, I watched the Don Cheadle.
Yes, parody. Let's go.
Fuckers.
I love Don Cheadle and that shit. Naalala ko yun.
Crap. Sabi ni Daryl, Golden Sun.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Here's one thing that's really hard for those kind of titles. Remember, the studios needs to make a lot of money, and turn-based games like that is kind of a niche nowadays. Like, not a lot of people would appreciate it with the current trends of games that are coming out, which are high action game. Like, as for me, I hate what's happening. The only game that I play which is high action right now is Valorant. That's it. That's the tolerance that I have for high action.
My axe. That's slower than CS4.
That's how high my tolerance is.
High action na yun. Abangan mo yung taon
For me, that's already high action. Imagine how I play other games. I just get dizzy with the other games like Call of Duty, Apex. I'm just too old for it, I guess.
For mine, there would be 3 actually, and of course they're niche. One of them will be from good old Nihon Falcom, East 5. Because East 5 has never seen the light of day in the Western release. It doesn't make sense that you have every East available except 5. So please, Nihon Falcom, just remake it. It doesn't make sense that I get to see Terra in East 6 without knowing who Terra is from East 5.
La Blue Girl remake, okay lang.
Bible Black remake, mga ganon. Holy shit.
Okay lang ba? Man. As a visual novel, yeah, fuck, I would love to see that. Okay, for the other two,
Jazz.
What?
From the same developer, one I really
Ay, Josh Daloy. Josh pala. So,
one I really want to have a proper remake, even though it's been remastered many times already, is Tales of Fantasia. The only time, we ever got it in the West was the inferior Game Boy Advance version, which is while fine, it does have its own problems. And the best version so far is on the PSP, which is like to compare it to the best Tales for me is Tales of Destiny, the PS2 one, which is amazing. Like I just want Tales of Fantasia to have similar love when it comes to Tales game. It's always Symphonia. Like give me the give the rest of the world a chance to experience the first game in its in this entirety of the series.
Yeah,
you can't even change much of the formula. It's still action based while still retaining some of the RPG elements of it. And also,
I have one more remake na naisip ko. Actually, nabasa ko siya kanina. Shaman King was remade.
Shaman King was remade. Yeah.
That was remade. I'm not sure if it's better than the last one.
That's one thing that I can't remember because I haven't watched the original again. The ending, I'm not sure if that was the actual ending on the original anime, wherein it's basically I don't know.
Yung kasama na sila magkapatid. Nagkabati na sila magkapatid.
Kampi na sila.
It's somehow they're in outer space in spirit trains and shit. Is that the ending?
Ito yung bago na?
Yeah,
I
actually
not.
So definitely it's not. So because I haven't watched the original anime series na natapos ko kasi I was watching it on TV back then sa GMA7. And
at hindi mo matatapos yun ever.
Hindi ko natapos. So the ending was so weird wherein they brought in a spirit train with all the dead shamans and then somehow the Yo's mom, or no, not Yo's mom, Asura's mom, the bad guy's mom, just came out as a spirit and fixed everything. That's it. That's the ending.
Yeah, I don't remember shit.
There was no action. Like there was some action. They were trying to fight, but the ending was basically him realizing that that's not what his mom would want. Like it doesn't make sense. You're a demon.
Mama's boy pala si Asura.
You're a demon possessed as a kid, and then somehow the human spirit takes over. It just doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense, and that's why I hated the new Shaman King. I was hoping to buy the new Shaman King figures, but when I watched the TV series on Netflix, I was like, "Is this the actual ending of the original anime?" Like, I was so surprised that was the ending that I saw. So I don't think that's the actual ending.
Yeah, speaking of things that don't make sense, is our segue sa ating next segment. Yes!
I love that segue.
I love the segue.
That is a segue.
Solid yung segue.
I had one last one though. Like,
okay, let's go.
One last remake I want to happen is also from the same publisher, Bandai Namco. You keep using her in crossovers and other promotional material. People still make fan art of her. I want to have a remake of the adventures of Valkyrie. Namco's poster girl, aside from Pac-Man.
Like, I don't know these people. I don't know these characters. Ba't ganon?
I enjoyed playing Valkyrie.
That's an old game.
I actually got to play Valkyrie once on the arcade, and it was so
Valkyrie
fun.
no Boken.
Yeah, and later on in the years, I discovered she had an NES game, which is Valkyrie no Boken. It was actually pretty fun. And she never appeared in anything again like that.
Well,
Please.
apparently it's their answer to
Zelda.
the Legend of Zelda. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Please give her some love. People still remember her, Namco. Like she's not just a crossover character. Please give her some kind of game.
Busy pa si Bandai Namco, i-cash cow si Pac-Man eh. Sunod na yun.
Kinakash nila na yung Gundam. So yeah, that's it. That's mine.
Okay.
So, let's go back
Ulitin natin
the
yung
segue that doesn't make
ulitin natin yung
sense.
segue mo. Ulitin natin.
Speaking of something that doesn't make sense, our segue
inulit
para
ka
sa
lang.
ating next our segue para sa ating next segment, of course, few announcements from our end, but all in all, guys, magiging masaya tayo kapag nangyari yung mga wish list natin, and I hope time will come na aabot pa tayo na sa day na mafulfill yung wishes natin or maaabutan ng anak natin, 'di ba? Or mga apo natin or whoever it is, no? Play the games for us, no? Malay mo naman kasi nagbibingi-bingihan lang yung mga developers, ayaw nila kasi hard to get sila, 'di ba? But yeah,
Mumultahin ko kayo.
mumultahin kayo ni Dexter. Pero yun nga, our announcements lang para from our end.
What's up, Sir Joe?
We actually have a few events that we will be going to in the next coming month. So one of them will be Manila Game Fest. Will be on May. Ayan,
20
anong date din?
And 2021.
May 20 and 21. And it's gonna be everything tabletop. Board games,
Let's go!
card games, yung giant Catan board na isang
Feeling ko
oras mo lang
pupunta si
pwedeng
Joshua
laruin.
Josh, dapat nandun ka. Let us play Catan. Let's
Giant
build roads
Catan.
for 1 hour. Para tayo gumawa ng Skyway.
Farms. The fuck that. Farms. Pero sino ang thief? Sino yung bandit piece?
Malalaman na natin doon.
We'll find out later on. Sige, Jazz.
Ayan, if you're a fan of board games, card games, everything, punta ka dito, meet us, meet all the people behind this event.
Let's go!
And may pa-tournament din sila. So I believe yung price doon is like a 5,000 pesos shopping spree on the event itself. So that's good for one Magic deck. All right?
Oh, that's a
it.
giveaway. Tapos may tournament din sila ng Magic the Gathering na may prize pool of 100,000 pesos. Pero syempre may entry fee na 1,200. Tapos meron din silang Flesh and Blood tournament na 30,000 naman ang prize pool, pero free ang registration. Sobrang ganda na itong Manila Game Fest. First ever tabletop expo.
What if sumali tayo nun, then wala lang?
Wala lang.
Panira lang ng bracket, ganun.
Sayang yung pera.
yung pera?
Hindi. Sa Flesh and Blood tayo kasi free lang naman yung entrance nun eh.
Sa bagay, free lang naman.
Free lang naman yung entrance nun. So, panira lang
Pero,
ng bracket.
kung hindi kayo marunong maglaro ng Magic the Gathering and Flesh and Blood, there is actually a demo segment doon. May demo portion na tuturuan kayo paano maglaro nitong mga games na to.
Yeah.
And if you're interested in playing it, actually Ludus is there. I'm sure Neutral Grounds is also there selling Magic decks and maybe Flesh and Blood decks for sure.
Yun. And of course, next event na pupuntahan namin this May will be the UnboxCon 2023. And brought to us by the same organizers of Manila Game Fest.
Unbox Live.
This time, it's all about tech. It's all about the newest and latest, the trendiest in all gadgets. Baka mamigay din sila ng cellphone. I don't know. Malay mo.
Gadgets.
Diba?
Actually, marami yan eh. Marami.
Everything.
Gadgets, shoes, art toys,
Magbibigay sila ng Omnitrix.
apparels. Grabe.
UnboxCon, there will be. It's more of shoes and designer toys. It's a convention that I really wanted to go to. We have a few friends that's coming there. Harem will be there.
Harem.
He'll have his own booth. racer
RMX
of
Custom.
PU6. Of course, our friends from the Art of Wetworks, Sir Jesse James Jockson and Carlo Andrade Cacho will be there. If you go there and decide to see what the kind of talent, Filipino artist has, it's the place to be. Like, literal na mga sikat na designer toys will be there.
And also, there's actually a lot of guests coming in. Maraming mangyayari, panel discussions with Carlo Opel himself. Of course, honoring Big Boy Cheng.
Yes.
Marami mga YouTubers na pupunta.
And one more, just to add lang about UnboxCon, there are several limited edition drops. And you'll hear it first sa G3.
Event exclusives event exclusives.
Event exclusives na hindi ninyo makikita elsewhere. Pag hindi nyo nabili yon during UnboxCon, that's it.
Hindi nyo
Resell ka na lang.
Anyway.
One of which is yung orange na talong ni Skate.
Orange.
I don't know bakit naging orange na talong yon. I believe Harren as one.
Harren also has event exclusive toys that will be releasing. No? So Harren X Customs, make sure that you drop by his booth. So may mga keycaps siya na event exclusives, and he has also a lot of art toys that he's creating that are event exclusive as well. Meron din mga toys. Actually, not toys. There are also a lot of shoes that are event exclusives and apparel that are event exclusive as well. So, guys, make sure you come to UnboxCon 2023. Both events, Manila Game Fest and UnboxCon, 200 pesos yung ticket ni Manila Game Fest, UnboxCon 250. Pero abang-abang lang kayo kasi they have a super pass na worth 500 ata, if I recall.
Wow.
Na it's a pass for both events. I'm sure both days, I guess. No, so both days yan. Since nandun na rin kayo, punta na rin kayo doon sa isa. Let's go!
Let's go! And of course, to top this all off, yung sinabi namin, speaking of off, 100% off sa Like a Dragon Ishin. And this is how you can get yung ating yung mamimigay kami ng dalawa? Tatlo.
Yes.
Tatlong copies ng Like a Dragon Ishin for PC. And ang kailangan nyo lang gawin, like our Facebook and Instagram accounts. So that's G3 Podcast. Comment on the post. So we have a post actually. So
we'll be posting.
Ito, this photo. We'll be posting this photo. So comment on the post, tag 2 of your friends, and share this post publicly. Yun lang yung kailangan nyong gawin. 3 easy steps, mapapanalunan nila yung Like a Dragon Ishin. All you have to do, again, like our page, Facebook and Instagram accounts, comment and post and tag 2 of your friends, and share public. Again, reminders lang, share it publicly. Kasi yung iba kasi sinishare lang nila ng sa friends lang, so di yan counted. So share it publicly. Winners will be announced on May 5, 2023. So
next episode,
i-announce namin yan next episode. Yun!
Yes.
And
also, you have to be there, ha?
Sumali, ha? Kayo nasa baba ko, bawal ko sumali.
Yung asawa ko sasali.
Bawal sumali.
Guys, para manalo kayo, to be eligible to get your codes, you have to be there dun sa episode na yon. You have to be
kasi
there.
Kasi doon namin i-roll.
Ang pangalan nyo, doon namin i-roll sa end of the episode. So, kung wala kayo, sorry, wala kayo.
Wala. Re-roll namin yun.
Re-roll.
Ayan.
Re-roll na yun. Ibibigay na lang namin sa isa't isa.
Or na talaga, wala talagang panalo. Yeah, sa amin na lang ulit. Okay, wala problema.
Actually, gusto ko laruin to, guys. Totoo lang. Ayan, sali na kayo, guys. Again, Like a Dragon Ishin, one of the newest installments for Ryu Gotoku franchise. So let's go!
And of course, pag successful to, malay nyo, ibang games din papamigay namin, di ba?
You'll never know.
You'll never know. Di ba?
Bad rats.
Pero you thank us if you stayed here sa G3.
Yes, of course.
We'll give you that guarantee.
And that's about it, ladies and gentlemen, for our episode of the G3 Podcast. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much mga kaibigan, sa lahat na nanood, sa lahat na nag-share, sa lahat na nagsuporta sa G3. Thank you so much. This has been one hell of an episode. I'm General Tuna. With me is Notch, Palitz, Checkster, Captain Mike, and we will see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Let's go! Get well soon, Rene!
Get well soon, Rene!
Get well soon, Frogs.
Get well soon, Rene. Belated happy birthday, Mike
bro.
Quintana. Happy birthday, Mike. You're so holy. Can't believe you're still alive. Love you.